Along Japan's northeast coast, concrete barriers rise between towns and the Pacific. Some are several stories high. Together, the rebuilt seawalls, levees, and gates cover hundreds of kilometers, but they were never designed to make the coast tsunami-proof. That sounds like an admission of failure. It is actually the key to how the system works. Japan's post-2011 strategy begins with a brutal assumption. The largest tsunami can overtop the wall. So the real engineering question is not, how do you stop the ocean? It is, how do you keep the defense working after the water goes over it and buy people enough time to escape? Because the structure you can see is only one layer. On March 11th, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake ruptured beneath the seafloor off northeastern Japan. The tsunami reached parts of the coast with very little warning. In some places, the water traveled several kilometers inland. At one site in Iwate, the measured run-up reached 40.1 meters. More than 18,000 people were killed or went missing. Entire districts were swept away, and across much of the coast, the tsunami rose far above the height the existing defenses had been designed to handle. The obvious conclusion was that the walls were simply too low. But that was only part of the failure. At many sites, the wave overtopped the crest and raced down the landward side. The flow tore away protective slabs, scoured the soil at the back of the dike, and hollowed out the support beneath it. Once the landward toe and the fill were gone, sections of the wall collapsed. Ground subsidence and foundation damage made the problem worse in some locations. The wall could survive the first impact and still be destroyed by the water flowing over and behind it. If you like seeing the hidden engineering behind things that look simple, subscribe, because the wall's most important job begins when it is no longer tall enough. After 2011, Japan formalized a two-level strategy. Relatively frequent, lower tsunamis are treated as level 1. Coastal structures are designed to prevent or greatly reduce damage from those events. The rare maximum class tsunami is level 2. Japan does not claim that a concrete barrier can stop it. Level 2, planning depends on evacuation, land use decisions, raised ground, and multiple defensive lines. That changes the purpose of the wall. It must be high enough for the design event, but it must also be tenacious when a larger wave overtops it. In Japanese engineering guidance, the goal is for the structure to keep working as long as possible, reduce the amount of water entering, delay a breach, and extend evacuation time. There is no single standard cross-section running along the entire coast. The design changes with the ground, the town, and the expected water level. But the post-2011 structures share one central idea: protect the landward side and the foundation from being stripped away. On the Sendai Plain, for example, rebuilt coastal dikes use a broad earth embankment covered across the seaward slope, the crest, and the landward slope. The back of the structure and its toe are protected, so overtopping water cannot immediately dig into loose soil. Other projects add improved ground, sheet piles, geotextile reinforcement, drainage, or wider protection at the landward toe. Those details are site-specific. The principle is not. The old question was, can the wall resist the wave? The new question is, can it remain standing after the wave has gone over it? This is not a structure designed never to fail. It is a structure designed not to fail suddenly. And behind the concrete, the coastline itself has been redesigned. In parts of the Sendai Plain, the seawall is followed by coastal disaster prevention forests, canals, and raised roads that act as secondary embankments. One raised road is about 6 meters high and more than 10 kilometers long. It is not the first line of defense. It is another obstacle the water must cross. Each layer can slow the flow, reduce its depth, catch debris, or divide the inundation. Raised roads also become evacuation routes. Farther inland, some neighborhoods were rebuilt on elevated land, while others moved uphill. and left the most exposed low ground empty. No single layer guarantees survival. The strength comes from forcing the tsunami to lose time and energy at every step. The concrete blocks scattered along the shore are often treated as part of the tsunami wall. But tetrapods mainly dissipate ordinary wave energy and protect coasts and structures from erosion. They are not a standalone shield against a maximum tsunami. Farther offshore, some ports use enormous breakwaters made from concrete caissons. These do not simply force a tsunami to break early like a surfing wave. They obstruct and redirect the flow, reduce how much water enters a bay, and can delay the peak. Several breakwaters were badly damaged in 2011. Even so, numerical studies found that structures at ports, including Kamaishi and Soma, still reduced tsunami height or inundation. That makes them useful, but only as one more layer. River mouths, harbor entrances, and openings through a seawall create weak points. They need gates. Before 2011, many of those gates still had to be closed by people on the coast. The human cost was devastating. Across the disaster, 254 volunteer fire corps members died. Their duties included evacuation, gate closing, public warnings, and other emergency work. Iwate Prefecture reported that 48 firefighters lost their lives while trying to close gates. That changed the system. Key gates and seawall doors have been upgraded for remote or automatic closure. In Iwate, a satellite-linked system was introduced for roughly 220 gates and doors, allowing them to close after a tsunami warning without sending an operator toward the sea. The gate is still concrete and steel. The real upgrade is that a human life is no longer part of the mechanism. Then comes the layer no wall can replace: warning and evacuation. Japan's network combines earthquake detection, tsunami forecasts, offshore GPS wave buoys, sirens, broadcasts, mobile alerts, evacuation towers, and marked routes to high ground. Offshore buoys can confirm an approaching tsunami before it reaches a harbor. But in the nearest communities, the available time can still be painfully short. That is why the official message remains simple. When strong shaking is felt on the coast, do not wait for the wall to prove whether it is high enough. Move. A seawall can reduce inundation. A gate can close an opening. A raised road can slow the water. None of them can evacuate a person who decides to stay. This system also created a conflict Japan could not solve with engineering alone. Large walls can block sea views, separate fishing towns from the water, damage tourism, and change the identity of a place. Residents challenged planned heights and locations. In the 6 affected prefectures, 197 of 621 coastal dike sites were revised after local discussions. By lowering the planned height, moving the wall, or changing the design. That matters because the best defense is not automatically the tallest wall. It is the combination a community can maintain, understand, and still live behind. There is another danger too: false confidence. A huge wall can make people believe evacuation is optional. But Japan's Level 2 strategy says the opposite. For the largest tsunami, evacuation is the main defense. So Japan's tsunami wall is not just a wall. It is a resilient embankment designed to survive overtopping longer. It is a set of gates that can close without sacrificing an operator. It is offshore structures at selected ports, coastal forests, canals, raised roads, elevated land, warning networks, and evacuation routes. It does not promise to stop the next maximum tsunami. It is designed to slow it, divide it, reduce it, and keep working long enough to create one thing the coast did not have enough of in 2011.